retire means you can do anything you want from this day on. So if I desire to come back and play again, maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe that's the challenge that I may need someday down the road.
Michael Jordan, the greatest. An athlete blessed with an abundance of riches and universal respect. A man whose retirement froze the streets of Chicago, its citizens looking forlornly skyward. Then he came back, greeted like a messiah. To many, he is life's dream, the supreme example of what can be achieved when talent is tuned by a fearsome dedication. The aura surrounding Michael Jordan spans all sports, all countries, all generations. To meet him is perhaps the greatest honor for any sports fan. To play against him is to step into another world, Michael's playground. Hello and welcome to this special presentation of the Gatorade 3-on-3, one of the most successful campaigns to take basketball to the streets. It was a travelling circus rolling through capital cities across Australia and New Zealand, where thousands of keen ball players swarmed. They were there because they loved to play basketball, but above all, they were there because they wanted to meet and play against Michael Jordan. That was what made the Gatorade 3-on-3 a landmark event. So let's go to the first round, where the dreams of the young carried them to courts across two nations. The mission? To take basketball to the people. The challenge? Gatorade 3-on-3. The prize? Michael Jordan.
And here comes Michael.
It was the summer sensation. The Gatorade 3-on-3 challenge began its journey in Auckland, spanned a continent, washed up on the beach, and climaxed at an opera house. For many, this was a once-in-a-lifetime thing, a chance that few will ever have. With the alluring shores of Adelaide's Glenelg Beach as a backdrop, there could not have been a more perfect beginning to the Australian leg of the Gatorade 3-on-3 challenge. There was no shortage of talent on display, and as with every big tournament, there was the buzz about who would win. In the city of churches, it was a veterans team, the Omegas, powered by ex-36er Dwayne Nelson. They beat their opponents with size and strength. That was until they matched up against the Lunch Cutters, led by Adelaide's Nathan Hawke. In a bruising contest, the Omegas were eliminated in the quarterfinals. The Lunch Cutters cut down to size in the final by Luigi's legends. Even with their lack of height, they managed to keep the Cutters away from the boards and hold on for the narrowest of victories.
They were pretty tall, so we had to sort of shoot from the outside just to make sure that, luckily our shots were going down, so it was good for get a win like that. And we're off to Sydney now, so that's even better.
The 14s final had magic legs, the 16s was full of mad skills, and the best team name in the competition, the 4-Minute Noodles, lasted a little longer than that. They were all off to Sydney. The Gold Coast promised scenes from paradise, and that's exactly what was delivered. Beautiful Fisherman's Wharf provided another amazing backdrop, and with great ball, there are always great players.
Well, I think just the fun, love of the game, just to come out to play and just come back down to the Gold Coast and have a vacation with everybody and, have a good time.
When it came down to business, the Lightning, led by Mike Mitchell and the NBL's most valuable player in 1988, Jumpin' Joe Hurst, proved throughout the day that they would be the lineup to beat. Their opposition was just unlucky. Unlucky, they showed up. Shane McConkey put in a standout performance, but even he conceded the mountain was just too high.
We tried to get the backdoor screen going, which we've been doing the whole competition, but as they were so big, it was really hard to pull off.
In the junior section, the talent just kept coming. In the 14s, Kim Madsen was the driving force behind the Gators' victory. The 16s was punctuated by Craig Fisher's powerful display, whilst the 18s was taken out by the Cardinals. But the Open final was all Lightning in a close game.
Mike, that was a little closer than you thought.
Oh, definitely. They played well, and we had to weather that storm once again, like the one about to hit now.
Fremantle, one of Australia's most beautiful tourist destinations, one-time host to the America's Cup, and now the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge.
Series so far has been fantastic. Every city has supported it very well. It's been well promoted. And again, I think the kids are really looking for a place to go and play basketball, and we're giving it to them.
Former NBL coach and player Cal Bruton and his smooth-as-silk son, Austin, became two of the most popular players in the series. While his dad was carving up the court in the celebrity match, Bruton Jr. and his Jayhawks were showing they would be the team to beat in the 16s final at the Opera House.
I think he's coming along quite well. He still can't beat me one-on-one, though, but he's coming along.
The Open final was a physical match taken out by the Foot Locker Slammers over Swish, led by former Wildcat, now 36er, Martin Catalini.
Well, my hair, to lose a few of those Christmas pounds, I think. Christmas was a fairly big time in my family, so I'm trying to get rid of the few around the stomach area. But no, I have a bit of fun with the boys for the last time.
The Tar Heels won the 18s. The 14s was total carnage. Bondi is usually more comfortable with a break than basketball, but the atmosphere for the 5th round was world-class. New Sydney Kings recruit Melvin Thomas led the charge with his team Healthlands DC.
Yeah, I'm just out here to help, win or lose. I'm just here to enjoy myself.
But then a team stepped onto the court that might give the great Michael Jordan a run for his money. All of his money.
Well, first we got to take care of business here in Sydney, of course.
The D Train, Jerry, Jay Nice Everett, Storman Norman Taylor, and American 3-on-3 whiz Michael Hoyle. If ever there was a team created for 3-on-3 basketball, this was it. Always entertaining, they ploughed through their opponents, winning the final even after Everett was injured.
The ground is so uneven, and my knee just sort of buckled on one of these little potholes, one of these grooves. So, I mean, hopefully it's not too serious. Hope it's not an injury that'll ruin my career. Maybe I'll just ice it and go to the physio and keep working on it.
Fellas, next stop, the Opera House. What do you think, Norm?
That's all right. I'll do a little bit of singing myself. So I'm looking forward to it.
While conditions were windy, there were no complaints from the 250 competitors at St Kilda for the Melbourne leg of the tournament. In the Open division, the team from Crown Casino had a distinct advantage with an average height of 6'6" and CBA League experience to boot. The wind began to play an increasing role, conditions more suited to sailing than a jump shot. So they went indoors, much to the delight of some.
This is wood. This is real wood. I mean, we're going to have a real advantage on the wood.
Michael Jordan, beware. These guys can all talk a good game.
Way to go. Proud to be here. Yeah, boy, Crown Casino, #1. I told you. You didn't believe me. Now you can. Yeah!
Challenged in the semis, the Casino boys won their way through to the Opera House finals.
When do I leave? Thursday or Friday?
The X-Men proved they would take some beating when they won the 14s division. Outside shooting proved the difference for the Southeast All-Stars in the 16s, whilst Moo Ball booked their flights to Sydney with a physical display in the 18s. I just wish the Casino boys would come out of their shell a little bit.
We're coming. Mike Hoyle, we're coming.
Still ahead, we go to the Sydney Opera House for the Australasian finals. But next, part 1 of our exclusive interview with the great man himself, Michael Jordan.
And I really had a tough time trying to motivate myself to new challenges. And when I went back to baseball, it was a lot of challenges there for me. And it was a good experience for me. I got to see some of those steps and those stages of success that I kind of forgot.
How would you like to wing your way to the USA with all expenses paid to meet Michael Jordan? Well, you can with the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge prize draw. Return airfares for 2, 7 nights accommodation, and the chance to dine at his restaurant, all included. There are heaps of other great prizes: Nike Air Jordan basketball shoes, Wilson Michael Jordan basketballs, Gatorade sports kits, and 3-on-3 event t-shirts. To be in the draw, simply collect either 2 Gatorade 1-litre barcodes or 4 Gatorade 500ml barcodes. Place them in an envelope with your name, age, address, and US shoe size, and send them to the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge Competition, P.O. Box 1825, Gladesville, New South Wales, 2111. All the details are on Gatorade bottle labels And remember to reverse your thirst. Nothing beats Gatorade. We'll return to the action of the Gatorade 3-on-3 just a little later, but right now, a closer look at the prize. When Gatorade offered us the chance to interview Michael Jordan, there was no hesitation. The problem was how. To give you an insight into the life of the world's most famous sportsman, Michael Jordan spent all but 2 weeks of his off-season working for sponsors or other business commitments. He's a corporate icon. At the time of this interview, Michael was filming a movie with Bugs Bunny and other cartoon characters at Warner Brothers Studios in Los Angeles. Now, for that shoot, Warner Brothers had set him up in a palatial LA estate and built for him the amazing Jordan Dome, a mighty big marquee, air-conditioned with basketball court, golf driving nets, putting green, gymnasium, lounge suites and all the other facilities he needed. It was in the Dome, in a lunch break, that he was to spend 1 hour for the shooting of a commercial promoting the Gatorade 3-on-3. You probably saw it. And if time permitted, talk to me. Well, it's a credit to the man that he made the time for his friends at Gatorade and us before returning to a very hectic schedule. This was the Michael Jordan we rarely see, the Jordan who handles his responsibilities off the court as skillfully as he handles the ball.
Under 2.5. What a spin. Oh! What he brings. Jordan hard to the hoop. The reverse. On the verge of blowing this thing open. Michael! It's down the right. Michael inside. He's boogie whips it on.
Firstly, what can you tell us about this new adventure with Warner Brothers, and what is Bugs Bunny really like?
Well, he's a very interesting character. The whole movie is set that I'm retired, and he comes and begs me to be a part of his basketball team to overtake some bullies in his world. So somehow I transformed from the real world to Toonland, and I basically help him and his buddies, you know, Porky and all his characters to go against this other team and teach them the game of basketball.
You said in Rare Air that basketball is not my job, and I know you've done a lot of shooting and a lot of work promotions-wise in the last month or so. That's your job. That's your business. What is basketball then?
Basketball is like a relaxation from all this that happens to me. You know, once I'm on the basketball court, I know I can't get any. I don't have to worry about any endorsements or any commercials, whatever. I just play the game. That's me. That's what I've been doing for years, and it's kind of my escape from everything.
There's the double. Jordan down. Michael!
What did the baseball experience give you, not just as an athlete, but as a person?
I felt it kind of relit the flame, my desire to compete in the game of basketball that I kind of lost because of my success and things that I was doing. And I was at the top of my game, and I really had a tough time trying to motivate myself to new challenges. And when I went back to baseball, it was a lot of challenges there for me, and it was a good experience for me. I got to see some of those steps and those stages of success that I kind of forgot.
So what's the challenge now?
Let's get back to the top, and to maintain my consistency in terms of my level of basketball skills, and to get the Chicago Bulls back to the championship.
It's all over for Chicago Bulls. Three straight NBA championships. For the third year, Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls have climbed the Mount Olympus of the NBA to the world champions of basketball.
Down under, I don't know if you're aware, but you're Australia's most popular sportsman. How does that make you feel?
Well, I'm very proud of that. I've never been to Australia. I'm very happy that they have been able to keep up with me while I'm participating in my activities here in the States. And I just hope someday I can get the chance to go down and pay some of those fans a visit. My schedule, as you see, has been very hectic for me. And if I get an opportunity, I look forward to doing that.
Long range shot had it blocked by Jordan. Over the back. This could be entertaining.
One thing about basketball in Australia is it's spread from, it used to be just a gym sport, now it's gone into the streets, and one of the things, the reasons for that has been the growth of 3-on-3. What do you like about that?
Well, I think in a 3-on-3 atmosphere, everyone feels like they have an opportunity to win, which is great. I think when you get that type of parity, I think teams compete, players compete, with a reward at the end of the rainbow. And I played in a 3-on-3 contest when I was a kid, and I think some of the accomplishments that you get out of that is something that you can't replace, and it motivates you to continue to play the game of basketball. And you learn a lot more about teamwork and being successful, you know, with other players.
The Gatorade 3-on-3s, it sounds like a great concept for that, doesn't it?
I think it is a great concept, so that the interest of the game of basketball is restored to where it's just teamwork, not so much individualism, but as a team. And you can carry that away from the game of basketball into other businesses and other things that you may do in life. I'm looking for the best 3-on-3 team down under.
Come and see the Gatorade 3-on-3 challenge.
And when I find them, they're in big trouble. Because the winner has to come and play me on my turf.
Even if you don't play, you can still win a trip to meet Michael Jordan or one of hundreds of other prizes.
Okay, I'll let you win that.
Check Gatorade bottles for details.
I'm ready for you.
If they're a dream 3-on-3 team, who'd be the other two?
From my team? That's a tough question. At this day and age, Charles Barkley would be a great teammate of mine, and Patrick Ewing would be another good teammate of mine.
Seconds to go in the shot clock. 15 in the ball game. Michael will take it. He's fouled. He scored. He threw it up. Off bounds and went in. Oh, my Michael with a fist clinch near midcourt. I tell you, he's just simply amazing.
Michael down the lane. A fake. Hangs. Fires. Scores.
What do you say to the Aussies who are going to come over and challenge you?
Well, it's not as though you were watching TV. You know, now you can't change the channel. You got to be ready to play.
Still ahead, part 2 of Michael Jordan. But after the break, we go harborside when the Gatorade 3-on-3 challenge moves to Sydney for the finals.
The Gatorade, all the sponsors, everyone, man. We're going to America. Thank you for everything there, man.
Welcome back, and returning now to the action from the Gatorade 3-on-3. We're at the finals in Sydney. Teams from every state eyeing each other before they fight for the prize. If they were nervous before, imagine their feelings now. It's one of the greatest outdoor locations for basketball, the spectacular Sydney Opera House. With the beautiful harbour reflecting her glory, the finals of the Gatorade 3-on-3 challenge tipped off with some spirited junior action. No team more impressive than the Western Australian under-16s. Led by Austin Bruton and managed by none other than his famous father, Cal, they dominated their age group to hit the finals undefeated.
We were posting the big fellas up, but now just isolate and penetrate.
Their only major challenge came from the physical Victorian side, which would eventually lose to Queensland in the semi-final. Under-18 action. New South Wales playing with an enthusiasm most opponents couldn't match. They also stayed unbeaten. A meeting with Jordan seemed a mere formality. But first, the under-14s final saw the hugely popular X-Men from Victoria taking on WA. With hair only a mother could love, the Vics played with a flair to match. Early scoring was close until WA began to pull away. A distinct height advantage and hard work inside took them to a 5-point lead, and more when Mitch Newey continued his solid work under the basket. Ash Cannon kept Victoria in the match with some enterprising play, and when David Ray nailed 2 in a row, it looked like it'd be a close finish. With time running out, Victoria couldn't connect until Cannon put them up by 1. But WA would not be denied. They went backdoor to restore their lead. Victoria had one last chance to tie it up, but the 3-point attempt was wide. WA, the first to book their flight. 15 points to 12.
WA are going to the United States and play.
Pumped? Well, it was the only word to describe the Queensland under-16s when they took on WA in the final. In a physical game, Western Australia registered first points thanks to Clinton Frame. Craig Fisher's strength was one of the reasons the Cane Toads had made it this far. Throughout the final, he showed why. Queensland looking good in the first half, but a crucial bucket by player of the series, Austin Bruton, right on half-time, tied the scores. The second half was all WA. Heavy defence put Queensland in foul trouble, and Bruton simply couldn't miss. In the end, the Western Australians won 16 points to 10.
That's the way they played in the series over in Western Australia. I think Framey's been like an elderly statesman. He takes over, he's strong, he can penetrate. Then we open up Austin, let him do his thing. And the 2 big guys, I can't say enough about them. They really play hard on the glass. And this young man here, he's going to be a player.
He's a player of the future, Stephen Watts.
In the under-18s final, New South Wales and Queensland played it hard inside. The Blues were the only ones to convert many early chances for both teams. Brad Richardson had the Blues in a spin, but they soon found a backdoor of their own. New South Wales began to dominate, and with some great moves, led by 8-4 at half-time. Good rebounding and shooting took them out to a 6-point lead in the second. The Cane Toads took some poor options, and Silvio McConey scored again to make it 15-7, enough to secure victory for New South Wales.
All I want to do is thank God, man. Thank God I was playing from last night. Thank you, God. Oh.
Before the day started, did you, in your wildest dreams, think that you'd go undefeated through the whole day?
Probably not, because we thought SA and Vic could have a good team, but we just played hard and we come through, which was good.
Well, what was the formula? I mean, you guys played well all day. How do you get to play consistent like that?
Thank Gatorade. Thank Gatorade, all the sponsors, everyone, man. We're going to America. Thank you for everything, man.
How would you like to wing your way to the USA with all expenses paid to meet Michael Jordan? Well, you can with the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge prize draw. Return airfares for 2, 7 nights accommodation, and the chance to dine at his restaurant, all included. There are heaps of other great prizes: Nike Air Jordan basketball shoes, Wilson Michael Jordan basketballs, Gatorade sports kits, and 3-on-3 event t-shirts. To be in the draw, simply collect either 2 Gatorade 1-litre barcodes or 4 Gatorade 500ml barcodes. Place them in an envelope with your name, age, address, and US shoe size, and send them to the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge Competition, P.O. Box 1825, Gladesville, New South Wales, 2111. All the details are on Gatorade bottle labels, and remember to reverse your thirst. Nothing beats Gatorade.
When the weather is high and you can stretch right up and touch the sky. No, when the weather is fine and you got women on your mind. I'm gonna drive in the ride and see now what I can find. Now if her daddy's rich, take her out for a meal, and if her daddy's poor, just to do it.
Well, if you don't believe that seasoned professionals were excited about the prospect of playing Michael Jordan, think again. When the Open team squared off, it was the first thing on their minds. The first round of the Open division in the Australasian finals. Proof we have world-class talent down under. The New South Wales team featured some of the best basketballers ever to play in this country, a team expected to make light work of the Victorian champions. However, throughout the series, it was proven that a team with lots of enthusiasm and a strong inside game would be able to upset a more fancied rival. This game was no exception. The Victorians showed they were more than talk. Still recovering from knee damage at the Bondi event, Jerry Everett appeared slightly inhibited, whilst the D-Train and others were far from their inspirational best. That's not to take away from the Casino boys, who played with as much vigour as the younger teams and held off a late charge from New South Wales to record the first upset of the day.
Jerry, it's pretty tough when you get down pretty early, isn't it?
Yeah, this morning, guys came out a bit flat. Other team, they're pretty pumped up, so we're going to have to regroup and get it together, you know. It's mainly whoever comes out pumped up and who's hitting the shots, you know. The shots go in, you win if they don't lose. So it's sort of like, you just got to be hot in the day, so we got to come out here and get it together and get our shots on.
The Victorians would go through the preliminary rounds undefeated, whilst the D-Train and crew would regather to make that first loss their only in the competition. The other game of note in first-round competition was the Queensland side, led by Brisbane Bullet Mike Mitchell, matching up against a team with seemingly limitless enthusiasm, Western Australia. Mitchell, who doesn't hide his preference for Nike, couldn't do enough to stop Western Australia, who controlled the boards from the beginning. Due to the consistently outstanding performance of Steve Williams, the Sandgropers proved they would be the dangers come finals time. The quarterfinals saw a rematch of the New South Wales-Victoria clash, but this time there would be no holding back from the D-Train and company. The Blues were too strong in the clutch. It was a surprised Victoria, regrouping for the semi-final.
How much of an advantage is it playing them once already? Like you played New South Wales already. Did you take them a little bit light this time?
Well, actually, we didn't take them a bit light. See, they took us a bit light the first time. That's what it was. And the second time around, it was a little bit tougher. I think we came out a little bit lackadaisical, too, because we had an easy win the first time. But we can't afford to do that now against Western Australia because right now, this is money time. You know, if we lose, we're out. We can't afford that.
The semi would prove to be all Western Australia. No sweet talk could get the Vicks out of this one, and the passion began to wane as the chance to meet Jordan slipped away. The Sandgropers just too keen for their opponents. An upset loomed in the Open final. The main game started off in a nervous fashion for both teams until Storman Norman Taylor grabbed this offensive rebound and dropped it back in to open the scoring. In what was to be a very even contest, a few acting skills sure didn't go astray.
Backing him down. Oh! He called the offensive foul. Welcome to Hollywood.
Trailing 5-0, WA stepped up with a nice jumper and stayed close with some good inside work.
And Billy with the left hand. 5-4.
Then, right on half-time, the D train took the margin to 3 with a move that would often be repeated.
And away McLean with the jumper.
In the second half, heavy rebounding. Roland Brooks replied with a great jumper.
And Roland puts up a jumper. Gets his own rebound, hits it. This time he knocks it down.
And when Steve Williams scored and was fouled in the process,
He goes to the lane, goes up and scores.
he had the opportunity to tie things up. But as was the case throughout the game, WA couldn't connect with the free throws. With the score 11-10, the D train played that sweet song one more time. WA would not let it slide. Billy Wade receiving a good dish and converting to keep the margin to 1.
As they go into Billy Wade, 13-12.
The match began to seesaw until a controversial call saw Roland Brooks foul and New South Wales convert. McLean kept on singing to push the Blues to a 5-point lead.
19-16. And the D train finishes off.
But when WA replied immediately,
And Billy Wade takes it inside.
it looked like we're in for a very tight finish. 30 seconds left. New South Wales up by 3. Norman Taylor replayed the opening basket, and they were on their way to the USA.
New South Wales is our Open Division champions, and they will be headed to the States to play against Michael Jordan.
Mark, Ryan, Bob, Tony, all that stuff you guys are talking. Mike Hoyle, look out. I looked, I saw, we came, we conquered.
Oh, man.
Now, my boy's going to go in the house and sing.
After the break, part 2 of our exclusive interview with Michael Jordan.
You know, my perception of myself is just I'm human just like anybody else. I've had a lot of opportunities and I've taken advantage of that, but believe me, I go to the bathroom just like everybody else.
Coming right back at ya with a different type of swing, you know. You better ask somebody. Baby, this is for you, and definitely you. I'm the type of guy who takes time to just kick back.
So the teams from each division will now have a few months to hone their skills and prepare for the ultimate challenge of their sporting lives. Michael Jordan. Speaking of which, let's return now to our recent interview with the man who clearly has regained the title of world's greatest player. He talks about the Bulls, golf, and more about life as a superstar.
Who do you like to watch in the NBA these days?
I like to watch all kinds of players, different types of players. Patrick, you know, Charles with his open court talents. Some of the new guys, Grant Hill, you know, Big Dog Robinson. I mean, you know, it's just getting to be where if you're not an NBA fan, certainly you don't like the game of basketball.
The inbounds pass comes into Jordan. Here's Michael at the foul line. A shot on Elo. Good! The Bulls win! They win!
they're undergoing changes, obviously. BJ went on the expansion draft. There was all sorts of rumours, you know, mid-season about Scotty and even Phil Jackson. How's the shape of the team going to be for this season, and what are their chances?
Well, I hated to see BJ go, but I think that was something that, you know, he's very happy with, and I think we're going to miss him, but we're going to have to compensate. You know, Scotty's going to be around, Phil's going to be around, so our team is going to have some time to gel as a team. You know, last year I joined the team at the end of the season, kind of put them in a difficult position trying to adjust to me as I was trying to adjust to them. But now we're going to start from the beginning of the season. I love our chances right now.
Return back, fires another three. Why not? He's unconscious.
3 seconds. Jordan's force-up shot to left.
Oh, yes, win.
Michael Jordan saves the day.
Here's Jordan on the move, baseline.
Mission control, ready for launch.
Bulls look to tie. Jordan on the drive. All the way to the rack. Hold on, folks. Buckle up.
There's a bounce pass to Jordan, and there's got slam dunk.
I have to ask, what do you think of Luke Longley's game?
Luke has improved. I think that's one of the things that, you know, our relationship and as a team, we get to know him and understand him better. I mean, he joined us last year, and he went through a minor adjustment change, and we never really got the continuity together. But you know, he's a good defensive player. And he has some offensive skills, and I think it's only going to make us better as we get to know each other.
What are Michael Jordan's plans? What's the future hold?
I don't know. You know, I wake up and I try to live my life as I see it, and I don't like to look too far in the future, but you know, if I can, I like to, you know, make sure my kids are, you know, grown up right and learns the values of right and wrong as my parents did for me, and let them make their choices after that, and be there to support them whenever need be.
Any thoughts of golf still?
I love golf. I think golf right now is still a relaxation for me, you know, away from basketball. But will I ever pursue it afterwards? It's so far away. You know, I'm not that good yet. You know, when I get that good, if I ever get that good, I make that decision.
A couple more. I have to ask you this. It's from Butch Hayes, your former roommate, I believe. He wants to know, do you still do your own alterations when you buy a suit?
No, I don't have to do that anymore. I've kind of outgrown that, and I've been able to, I can afford other things, quite frankly, but I still have those traits, and you know, if I ever have to do it, I can do it.
Greg Norman said in a recent interview I did with him that when he won his first major tournament, he was very shy, and he had to adjust and become more outgoing because he knew that he was going to be getting world attention. Have you had to make any adjustments like that?
No. You know, my personality is very outgoing, and I've been able to adapt to people because I'm a people person. If anything, I have to kind of retract a little bit because of my family and some of the privacy that I desperately need. But for the most part, I've never had a problem dealing with people and dealing with this whole, you know, this whole success thing. I try to keep my head well even and based, and you know, my foundation pretty solid, and you know, so I've been able to just be myself.
Michael with a drive in from the left, dunks it. Simpson back outside, the ball loose. McDaniel had it stolen by Jordan. Michael's got a breakaway. This game is over.
Down left side, Jordan. Quick right to left to the base. He's inside. Reverse layup. One of them.
Finds Jordan. There it is. Rodman is on him one-on-one. 5 seconds to go. Jordan off the glass.
And a steal. He lobs for Jordan for the Here's a pass stolen by Jordan. Michael Jordan on a breakaway. In for the left for the dunk.
The kids are going to want to know, what are you doing for practice in your off-season? What's your daily routine, just briefly?
Well, I've been working out. Started my workout a month earlier because I'm looking forward to the season. I can't wait till the season starts. I'm lifting a little bit in the mornings, and I play basketball at night. And I'm working on some of my weaknesses. And I think my biggest problem coming back last year at the end of the season was mentally, I knew what I wanted to do. Physically, I couldn't do it. It wasn't that I couldn't do it, but they wasn't in sync. So I'm working on getting my mind and my physical on the same page. Once I do that, then you're going to see the Michael Jordan of old.
Fires. It's good. Oh, you've seen it so many times before.
Leaves the middle open. Jordan, what a move! It counts!
To Higgins, back to Jordan.
Oh! No. Off to Jordan, baseline right, drives past Robinson. Shoots it up, really good! Gerald Wilkins has it stolen by Jordan. Michael Jordan on the drive. He's got the jam, and the Bulls have the lead.
Tell us about these night games. I reckon you should play them in a big stadium from some of the names I hear that have been turning up.
We've had some great competition. I think it's good for everybody that you have that type of competition because everybody's games evolves and improves. And for me, I mean, that's what I desperately need to get my game back, to see the competition that I'm going to be faced with all season and learn how to play against that competition.
Can you tell us some of the guys that have been turning up?
We've had some great guys. Charles Oakley's been in town, Grant Hill, you know, just some local guys, Tracy Murray, Lamont Murray, Reggie Thieves, of old guys who used to play. You know, I'm pretty sure it's just going to continue to get better.
You said how exposed you are to the fans, and you talked in rare air about having to maintain that role model at all times and be Michael Jordan at all times. Do you sometimes look in the mirror and think, is that still me?
No, I know it's me. When I look in the mirror, I know who it is. I know who that person is. And a lot of people have different perceptions of me, but, you know, my perception of myself is just, I'm human just like anybody else. I've had a lot of opportunities, and I've taken advantage of that, but believe me, I go to the bathroom just like everybody else.
Jordan asked for a screen.
Last question, when are you coming to Australia?
Hopefully soon. You know, it's a long plane ride. I'm trying to get a Concorde to go down there so I can get down there faster, but I look forward to coming down. Great golf courses, and the people seem very, very nice.
We'll do our best.
Thanks.
How would you like to wing your way to the USA with all expenses paid to meet Michael Jordan? Well, you can with the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge prize draw. Return airfares for 2, 7 nights accommodation, and the chance to dine at his restaurant, all included. There are heaps of other great prizes: Nike Air Jordan basketball shoes, Wilson Michael Jordan basketballs, Gatorade sports kits, and 3-on-3 event t-shirts. To be in the draw, simply collect either 2 Gatorade 1-litre barcodes or 4 Gatorade 500ml barcodes. Place them in an envelope with your name, age, address, and US shoe size, and send them to the Gatorade 3-on-3 Challenge Competition, P.O. Box 1825, Gladesville, New South Wales 2111. All the details are on Gatorade bottle labels, and remember to reverse your thirst. Nothing beats Gatorade. It's been a wonderful series made better by the expert organisation of the Gatorade staff and their associates. Our thanks to them. And let's look back on this marvellous promotion with congratulations to the following teams. In the under-14s, Western Australia. In the under-16s, another team from Western Australia. In the under-18s, New South Wales. And in the Open Division, New South Wales, Maclean, Everett, Hoyle and Taylor. Thanks for joining us on this basketball odyssey, a journey that's not quite over yet. Keep watching Network 10, where you see all the best basketball action, and later in the year we hope to bring you the final chapter, the Gatorade 3-on-3 winners meeting Michael Jordan. Goodbye.
When I hold you in my arms, I know that I can't do no wrong. And when I hold you in my arms, my love won't do you no harm. And I feel nice, that sugar is mine. I feel nice, that sugar is fine. So nice, so nice, I got you. When I hold you in my arms, I know that I can't do no wrong. And when I hold you in my arms, my love can't do me no harm. And I feel nice, that sugar is fine. I feel nice, that sugar is fine. So nice, so nice, that I got you. Wow, I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't. I feel good. I knew that I would. So good, but I got you. So good, but I got you.